Check. 1, 2. 1, 2.
residential. I got you.
Okay. You ready?
We praying Sean get it right. No. I'm laughing. I'm the lawyer. That's what I'm laughing. Do you know what? No, I don't. You need to sit down with him. It's like holding with a brother. Y'all know I was here.
Hello.
I think she gonna want to come up. You can start it there.
Good evening. Hello, everyone. Test.
Hello?
Test.
Hello, everyone.
Good evening.
Right. Good evening, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started with our last meeting of the year. And as a matter of fact, before we open, I would like to acknowledge that our Assemblywoman, Maritza Davila, has joined us. Can we give her a round of applause, please? And she's going to say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. Happy holidays, whatever it is that you celebrate. I just came by to wish everybody a happy holiday and to assure you that we're going up to Albany this year and we have a big fight, right? And that's to either abolish or extend some tenant laws. And then we have other things. We want to try to bring funding in for our educational system. There's a lot to be done. However, we are extremely happy that now we have both the Senate and the Assembly working together. So that's a big plus for all of us. I would also like to announce that as of yesterday, the Speaker, Carl Hasty of the Assembly, announced that I am the new chair of the Puerto Rican Hispanic Task Force in which was a big surprise for me, but nevertheless, you know, we never turn down challenges. That's who we are. But I just sincerely want to thank all of you for giving me the next 2 years as your Assemblywoman. And I appreciate the work that you do. There's no other board like Community Board 4. So once again, and I'm thankful that this man is on board, because whether you know it or not, he goes everywhere I go. And sometimes he gets there before I do, which is starting to worry me a little bit. But he is an amazing man, and I can reassure you that your best interest is always represented everywhere he goes. So you picked a great leader, great leader.
Support the chair. That's right.
So I'm not going to take more of your time because I know everybody wants to eat and party and whatever it is juice that you're drinking today. I don't know what that means, but I heard there was juice. I'm like, juice? Why are people excited for juice? Anyway, have a happy holiday. God bless all of you. Thank you.
And I want to congratulate you on your new job. So we're going to be going to Puerto Rico and fix Puerto Rico up. That's what we got to need. We need our people to get back in there. We don't want to lose Puerto Rico just like we're losing here. So we need to get our people back in here. People still dying over there, and a lot of people don't realize that our people are suffering over there in the island. And it's like nothing ever happened. Nobody talks about it. Nobody say nothing. But you got a lot of people died there more than in the World Trade, and nobody say nothing. People drowning, seniors are dying, people are starving, crime is high. My mother calls me every day. I just met my real mother. My stepmother passed away, but I just met my real mother when my dad died, and she calls me. We have a good relationship. That's my mom because she gave birth to me, but she tells me that they can't go out in the street at night. It's really bad. They do all their shopping in the daytime. No one travels at night. Imagine. Hot, they got to stay inside. And she says it's really, really bad. Homicide is up. You don't read it in the papers here, but a lot of killings over there in the nighttime, believe me. So we got to bring our people back and help our people. And I hope that we can go over there and I'll volunteer and we can clean up. I can't do too much, but we can try to do something and help the people over there. Thank you.
He says I can't do much, but this man, I took him with me when we took 22 volunteers from our district, and he picked up boxes with his cane. I mean, I don't know how he did it, but he moved faster than I did. So again, he comes with many surprises, and I also want to clarify something. The Puerto Rican Hispanic Task Force, it's Puerto Rico, yes, but it's also being inclusive of all the Hispanic communities. That includes Mexico, that includes Ecuador, to Santo Domingo. It's just bringing everyone together because there is no separation. I just want people to understand that. So once again, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all of you.
Thank you, Assemblywoman. So we're going to move now with our agenda, and we're going to get started with the first roll call. In one moment. All board members, please sign. There should be some where the man in the hat is over there. Yeah, right there. Yeah. Okay. All right, everyone. So the first roll call for all our board members: Grace Aites, Joanna Bennett. L.A. Blacksmith is excused. Joshua Brown. Present. Martha Brown. Present. Robert Camacho. Present. Gardier Caphart. Present. Melissa Carrera. Louisa Chan. Elvina Davis is excused. Carlos Feliciano. Victoria Fernandez is excused. Freddie Fowler. Igaudi Gomez. Michelle Hilliard. Barbara Jackson. Ann Guiney is excused. Virgie Jones is excused. Mary McClellan. Desmond Monroe. Charlene Moore. Zuma Navoa. Luisa Jose Olea. Asire Polite. Gladys Puglia. Eliseo Ruiz. Julio Salinas. Barbara Smith is excused. Bernadine Shell is excused. Dustin Sonborn. Here. Annette Spellin. Here. James Wiseman. Here. Oldoff Wright. 25 board members present. That constitutes a quorum. Thank you. All right, so moving down now to agenda item number 2, acceptance of the agenda. Is there a motion to accept tonight's agenda? Is there? Thank you. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? So moved. Agenda item number 3, acceptance of the previous meeting minutes. Is there a motion from the board? All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? So moved. Agenda item number 4 is the chairperson's report, and that's Mr. Robert Camacho.
I have no report. It's all informational. I went to mostly all the meetings that you went to. I just want all committees, please, let's start meeting. Let's create a quorum. We need you guys to come in. We can't push the agenda forward and let the people come here if we don't have a quorum and make recommendations. We need to have a quorum in order for us to make recommendation for them to come here. We've been tabling too many things, so committees, please come to your meetings. I'm also reviewing the attendance. You got a copy of the bylaws, and we're reviewing the attendance. We're gonna be strong. We need you guys here more than anything, because there's a lot of issues going on. In order for us to help Bushwick, we gotta be here. So please, if you don't think that you can serve, please let us know. Don't come. The attendance is being kept. You know you got bylaws, and there's a couple of days, so you know who you are. There is a bylaws, and letters will be going out, letting you know your status. I'm continuing to do that this year, again. So, as you know, the City Charter revision, 4 years. You know, 2020, you got 4 years, and if 4 years you're not doing what you got to do, you're not going to get reappointed. So we're going to have new people, new faces, new ideas, and new things. A lot of people, it might be good, and a lot of people are not going to be too happy. So we need to be together, and let's come to our meetings. You got Park and Recreation, you got Health and Hospital, Ms. McCullen. You got all these committees, we got to get involved. We got the school. We're trying to, the Youth and Education Committee, trying to get all the schools together. Our schools are under enrollment. Bushwick schools are under enrollment. You know how much subsidies and money we're going to lose? Charter schools are going to take them over. They're going to split them. Kids are not going to the, we need to do something, man. Seniors are getting pushed out of their homes. Come on, there's our issues that affect us. So we need to get up, tie our hands up, and let's go to work. And let's stop this, and new people. We want the new people to come in. You know why? Because eventually, it's going to trickle down to you. And then you're going to come here and say, well, we're getting pushed out. Guess what? We've been pushed out. So we want to help you to help us, for we can all live here. Remember, nobody wanted to live in Bushwick. This place wasn't in the map. Back then, people were dying and killing, and nobody knew about us. Drugs would, and now all of a sudden, everybody want to live here. $5,000 rent, $1 million homes. And then you got we got good developers, mind you, and we also got developers that don't want to work with us. So we want to make sure that the bad ones don't overpower the good ones, because we got good ones too. There are good ones that are willing to work with you and give you some, but we got to fight for what we got. It's not, we're in the 60s all over again, fighting for what we believe in. So we need to keep our open spaces. We need to keep moving forward, and we need to fight the agenda that we need to fight, guys. Our seniors, I want our people to keep living here. My kids can't live here. My son is getting married in October. He's got to move out to Staten Island when he was born and raised in Bushwick. Is that fair? So come on, be realistic. My daughter's 35, my grandson's 14. He's got to move to Staten Island. He's got to go away. I can't see my grandson. Come on. Let's be realistic. This is real. And we got to go to committees, and let's fight for what we believe in. We have to fight together. I go to these meetings, it's so sad. Look at housing. What's going on with housing? Where's everybody here fighting for those housing seniors that is going to be privatized now? We don't say it's privatization, but eventually it is. That's what we call it. When nobody wanted, now it's Section 8. Section 8 is not cheap rent anymore, especially for people that have been there 30, 40 years. We need jobs for our kids here. Youth, we did a forum in Bushwick. I went to the forum. We had 15, 13-year-old girls and 14-year-old kids want to work. Want to work. You know why? Because they want to make it less stressful on their parents. They're working 2 jobs and they want to see their parents. Back then, I used to work in everybody remember Shuki? Bargain Town? I used to work. I come out of school 3 o'clock. I used to work from there to 9 till they close. And made me a little money in my pocket for I buy my Pro Kids, my Converses, my PF Flies. Y'all remember, right? Huh? And a nice Adidas shirt. Y'all remember? I'm bringing y'all back. Because I was a kid. I was out there. So I'm learning from you seniors. We got to take care of our people. And we got to make sure our kids get the right stuff. Everything is online. There's no gym time. You see that? Exercise, gym, education. Come on. I'm sorry that I have to talk the way I talk because I go to this meeting and my heart bleeds for some of the things I see. In 2019, we shouldn't be doing this. There's no excuse whatsoever. There's none. Come on, our seniors, our living environment, our economic development. We had factories. My father, I was raised out of a factory. We had a Timex factory that my father used to do the Timex watches. My father made $96 a week. They were getting 25 cents raises, $10 raises, and there's 9 of us. If he did it and he owned a house, we all can do it. So it just bothers me, and everybody says, "Oh, I don't want to be by myself. I want to be with you guys. I want to go where you guys go. We can all say how we feel. It's got to be in your heart to be in it." I know a senior that was on the board that needs help on the board that needs help because her check don't get to fix her house. Now she wants to sell it, but she don't want to give it away. How is that possible? That lady lived there 60 years, have a house, and now she can't fix her roof because it's leaking. She's on a fixed income. Her husband is sick. Or board member. How is that even possible? We should be taking care of them. Those people made this place what it is. They taught me how to be strong and fight for what you believe in and what's right. That's what we need to do, link together and help our people, man. You know, sometimes people confine in you because you fight and they sit down and they say, "Mr. Camacho, I don't want to say who the person is." And then I go like, what are we going to do? We need to help our people. People here, I know you guys come in here and volunteer, and I know you come in here, Gary. Everybody got issues. Everybody got issues. And you know it. In 2019, guys, how is that even possible? Bushwick is $1.5 million homes. Am I right, Joshua?
Yes. Well,
1
1 million.
1 million, okay. Back then it was only 30, 15,000. And how about the land that was burning? The city was giving it to you for $1. For $1, and you got a year to fix. And nobody bought it. $1. So, you know, I'm sorry to take up your time, but we need to work together. Thank you.
And now, an introduction of the elected officials. If everyone can please line up in the middle and introduce yourselves. Any elected officials or their representatives at this time.
My member was just here, but is this on? My name is Yvette Lopez. I'm the Communications Director for Assemblywoman Maritza Davila. We're located at 249 Wilson Avenue, and you can always reach us at 718-443-1205. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Julio Salazar. Congresswoman Velasquez's office. Phone number 718-664-5149, located at 266 Broadway, Suite 201.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jonathan Pombosa. I bring greetings from District Attorney Eric Gonzalez. Our offices are located at 350 J Street, and our phone number is 718-250-2000. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And if we have any community-based organizations at their time or city agency representatives, this is your time to introduce yourselves.
I know, right? You got the suit on tonight. That's right. That's right.
All right. An introduction only, and then announcements are later this evening.
Good evening. I'm from the Brooklyn Public Library. My name is Norris Miles.
Thank you.
Good evening. In addition to Ms. Norris Miles, my name is Boniface Wewe from the Washington Irving branch of the Brooklyn Public Library. Our telephone number is 718-628-8378, and we are located at 360 Irving Avenue. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I don't know how I can follow that. Hi. Joanne McTiernan with Breaking Ground Homeless Outreach.
My name is Gina Gerhardt, and I'm with the Boy Scouts of America, Greater New York Councils.
My name is Azra Sami. I'm here from Brooklyn Cooperative Federal Credit Union and its affiliate, Grow Brooklyn.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Marta Bayona, and I am the president for the Community Education Council for District 32. And I just want to invite you, all the members of the community. We're having a meeting tomorrow at 35 Star Street at IS 45 in the auditorium. We'll be talking about district planning, so it's very important, very informative, and you should know what's going on with the schools in our district. Thank you. Meeting starts at 6 o'clock. Yeah, 347. The address is 35 Star Street. Yep.
Oh, 111.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Richard Williams, and I'm the park manager for the District 4.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Caroline Ioso, and I work for Opportunities for a Better Tomorrow.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rolando Gonzalez, and I am with AHRC NYC, and I do have an important announcement towards the end. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening. It's always great to see our community partners at our monthly meeting. So we're going to continue now to the 83rd Precinct. Do we have any representatives here this evening still? I know they were here earlier. Sergeant Serrano, if you would like to say a few words, let's welcome Sergeant Serrano.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Sergeant Serrano. I am the Neighborhood Coordinating Officer for the 83rd Precinct. I have 4 of my officers over there. I actually have Steady NCO Sector Adam, which is Christian Romero. I just swallowed my gum. I have Officer Athalie Romero, NCO Sector Adam as well. I have Steady NCO Charlie here, which is a favorite of Frederick Nelson and Andrew Legato. And I'm going to make this very short and sweet, but I would like to let you all know that I've been at the 83rd Precinct for over 25 years. I know I look young. I know. I've been in the precinct for over 25 years, and let me tell you this, that this year, our precinct has actually a record low in regards to crime, all right? So, I still need a job, okay? But it's a humbling thing to know that, you know, it's not just us working hard, but it's us as a community working hard to make sure that we have a safe community in which we can live in, okay? And I just want to thank you guys for working with us, and if anyone has any problems or issues or questions in regards, you can come and speak to us afterwards. One thing, though, that I've been having a problem with within our community is package thefts, okay? And especially during the holidays when everybody does their shopping on, you know, online, okay? So there's like 3 things that I would ask of you, if you don't mind, is 1, if you have packages that are being delivered, make sure that you track your packages online so that you know when these packages are coming, so that A, you could either be there to receive your package, or B, you could have someone receive those packages for you. 2, if you shop, whether on Amazon or anything else, there actually are boxes in which you can have your packages picked up, or you could actually have your packages picked up at the post office instead, which they're more secure when you have time, all right? And 3, in regards to sending gifts through the mail, whether Christmas cards or we would like to give, you know, send money within the postal service, please do not drop them in mailboxes. If you can, walk them to the post office and put them in there, because we have what they're called is fishers, people who actually fish in the mailboxes, and you know, and they're very smart in the way they do things, okay, and very elaborate in their way, okay. A lot of the stuff they learn on YouTube. There's a lot of things that you can learn on YouTube, and those are one of the things that you learn. But please, if you're gonna send something in the mail, make sure you drop it in the post office. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, anything that you celebrate, make it happy. Thank you.
Okay, moving down now to the district manager's report. And so I will keep my report brief this evening. Good evening, everyone. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of our board members for their work and time. If everyone can remember very quickly, this is a volunteer position. All 49 of our board members volunteer their time every month to come to these meetings, to participate in committees, and to share their ideas. So I would like to say thank you and give them all a round of applause for being here. I would also like to thank all of the familiar faces we frequently see at our meetings. You know who you are. We see you every month, and we thank you for joining us. These meetings and larger conversations rely on your feedback and participation. As this year comes to a close, I would like to make a special note about the spirit of the season. For those that have lived in Bushwick the longest, they know that community spirit is not unique to the holidays or a certain time of year. It is a year-round occurrence. From a simple hello to your neighbor when you see them, to comforting a family enduring hardship, we all play a part in maintaining that sense of togetherness. Certainly those that are newer to Bushwick also feel it too. With that said, I encourage everyone to meet at least 3 people they don't know this evening. At least 3. I'm going to be checking. No. And get to know 3 more people they are already acquainted with. How many of us do we see but we don't really know each other, right? At some point also during our holiday party, we will look forward to engaging everyone in a community board 4 themed Jeopardy activity. Do not hesitate to speak with me later on this evening or by contacting the board's office. You can find the contact information on this evening's meeting agenda. Below are meetings and events I've attended in the past month, along with other important information that I hope you find useful. And I'm going to go through this very briefly because there are some events that I would like to pull out that are special. On Tuesday, November 27th, I was on a call with Tracy Douglas, Director of Culture and External Affairs at Mesa Charter High School. I spoke with Ms. Douglas about establishing a partnership between Mesa Charter High School and the Community Board for the students to learn more about its role in the community. Moving forward, the board's office is coordinating for student volunteers to attend a general orientation session and assist with monthly newsletter preparation. This is not unique to Mesa Charter. This is an opportunity for all schools in the district to engage with us. We welcome everyone in the community to partner with us to learn more about the board's role. And additionally, on Wednesday, November 28th, Mr. Camacho and I joined the Trust for Public Lands New York City Playgrounds program, representatives from the New York Road Runners, and PS 377 students, elementary students, to review their initial designs for the playground. It was incredible to see the youngest students in the community engaging in a design activity and learning about project funding. Mr. Camacho has asked for them to attend an upcoming board meeting to share more information on the project. And then also, I would like to make a note, on the same day, there was a memorial for Elaine Jackson, the sister of board member Barbara Jackson. With a heavy heart, Mr. Camacho and I attended the memorial for Elaine Jackson. Elaine was and remains a source of light for her family, friends, and those who knew her. She had a great love for her community, for Bushwick, and will be sorely missed. And if we can just take a moment of silence to remember Elaine. Thank you. And moving us forward, on Thursday, November 29th, there was a NYCHA Hope Gardens RAD, which is the Rental Assistance Demonstration Program, open space session. Mr. Camacho and I attended the session to learn more about the impending RAD transition at Hope Gardens. The primary topic for the evening was meant to focus on an open space visioning session. What does that mean? That means all of the land that is currently open that NYCHA owns is being planned for right now. And is this plan happening with the community, or is it not happening with the community? Who is providing the information for this? And so they had one session, and we had expressed concerns about there being just one session, because how many people here attended that one session, right? How many people here knew about the one session? And so we're encouraging them to continue engaging the community, both the residents of Hope Gardens as well as the rest of the neighborhood. And this has also come up through the Bushwick Community Plan process. Moving us along, we did hold both bylaw revision committee meetings. One was on Tuesday, December 4th. It was open to the entire board, and on Wednesday, December 5th was specifically for our executive committee, as the committee usually meets on the same day, the first Wednesday. There is a packet with a summary of that information up front for the board members. I encourage you to review it, and we will continue the conversation next year. Moving us along, Monday, December 10th, I'm sharing all of the education. I hope you realize there's a theme. All of the education announcements. This is really exciting. So there was a Y-Plan discussion with Principal Sandoval and Dean Sierra from the Academy of Urban Planning and Engineering. Mr. Camacho, Ms. Virgie Jones, the Youth and Education Committee Chairperson, and I met with Principal Sandoval and Dean Sierra to discuss the project proposal to engage the youth in the community, specifically the students of the Academy of Urban Planning and Engineering, on the issues that interest them the most. They are interested in attending the next committee meeting and will discuss that with us further. So I encourage all that are wondering, what this project is. If you haven't heard of Y-Plan, I won't go into it this evening, but ask me about it. It's an incredible project. Councilmember Reynoso has been working with the students at EBC High School. Mr. Camacho could tell you on the Brighton Broadway project. This would be an opportunity for the board to engage in a similar project with the Academy of Urban Planning and Engineering. And moving us along, the NYC Charter Revision Commission. This is the second Charter Revision Commission. This is another opportunity. By December 31st, get your feedback in. The mayor had a Charter Revision Commission last year. We already saw the results from that commission. There's another one being put together by the City Council. I encourage all to submit feedback. And there are also upcoming news for sanitation. I encourage you to read through those alerts, as it also covers the service for Christmas Day. Alert from NYC Environmental Protection about winter weather for homeowners and for tenants alike. Everyone is affected by frozen pipes and meters. And then Small Business Services also has an announcement about their MWBE outreach. And Tony's Pizzeria and Restaurant. If you're interested in taking part, please let Sal know. He'll forward a letter to those that are interested, written by a child in the community. The goal is to help fill a child's request in a creative way. These are letters to Santa. And the child's request in as creative a manner as possible. If anyone is up to the task, his information is included in my report. And moving us along, I'm sure all heard recently about the tragedy, the fire that claimed 2 young people from our community, both Haley and Peyton. There is a memorial for those that would like to attend Thursday, December 20th, that's tomorrow, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the South Bushwick Reformed Church. That's at 855 Bushwick Avenue. And in my reports, there's a flyer with additional information. And we've already heard from our CEC 32 president. Thank you, Martha, for joining us this evening and being here. And I have also the flyer for the upcoming meeting tomorrow included in my report. And then a special shout out for El Puente and the Moore Street Holiday Pop-Up Market, supporting very well exist in Bushwick very soon. So the Moore Street Market is having their final holiday pop-up market this Saturday, December 22nd from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. More information in my report. And last but not least, there is a job opportunity from the New York Restoration Project. The flyer is attached to my report. I encourage you to check it out. And also the Girl Scouts are looking to recruit in Bushwick. And I believe there may be someone in attendance from the organization. And if not, there's information here, all of her contact information. I encourage, if you're interested, for you to get involved. I wish everyone a happy and healthy and safe holiday. And that concludes my report. Thank you. All right, moving us along, committee reports, starting with Arts and Culture.
Hi, good evening, everyone. You know, he owes me alimony, seriously. Okay, just really quick. Hi, my name is Zinabua. Good evening to everyone. Happy holiday, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Feliz Navidad, y los tres reyes, 3 kings too, just in case. This is going to be short and sweet. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, sir. Okay. All right, really quick. We had a meeting back in December 10th. Just going to go through this really quickly. We had the opportunity to have a letter from Mr. Luke Griffin. He's actually a local here, founder of Bushwick Podcast. The purpose of that is hopefully to explore, celebrate the diversity, and also the changing trends in the neighborhood. We're going to have more to follow on that. This is just something new that came to us, which I think would be a great opportunity to capture sort of the history of Bushwick. So please keep that in mind. We will have more. That was just brought to us. We also have a facility called the Hybrid Music, and what they do, it's actually a recording studio here in Bushwick that many artists don't know or not aware of, in which actually you could come, show your talent, and actually record, and they will even give you a copy. It's really a state of the art. I had the pleasure of going there during the summer with the chairperson and with my other friend, Quebe. She's not here this evening, unfortunately, but it's really great. We will have more information because we would really like people to come and see this wonderful studio. I said it's just really good. Really, really great opportunity. Next thing we had was also just this past summer, we had a arts mixer, and that entailed people of all ages and range and walks of life. We came together. It was really surprising. People actually showed up at Lot 45. It was really nice. We were happy to see that people were actually coming to the community, and that entailed many people from all different walks of life concerning what kind of arts. And when we say arts, please remember it's just not only painting, but we're talking like open mic, expression, anything that anyone wants to share with us. And just going down, and I'm going to really, really keep this brief. One of the recommendations also that was brought by one of our members, who's, I don't know if Mr. Dustin is here, but I think this really will interest everyone. We were just brainstorming, but with so much changing in the community, he brought up that it would be nice to have a time capsule of Bushwick. And we want people to brainstorm on this. Oh, Mr. Dustin, there you go. I'm sorry. And I have my glasses here. I'm so sorry. There he is. He brought up this great, great idea to have a time capsule in Bushwick. And we're going to have more detail on that. So we like people to like gather pictures, something that they don't mind, that will be put away for the next, 1,000 years? I don't know. Yeah, maybe 30 years or so. I'm not sure if I'll be around, but hopefully for the next generation. I think that's something that we really need to do, capture the history. Let's not forget the past. If we forget the past, and then that's it. It's the past. So thank you for that. We're definitely going to musical history of Bushwick. There's a lot that came from Bushwick. Really. Many of those from the, where is Mr. Camacho, you know. You were a break dancer back then. Yeah. All right. That's how he's all broken up with his pro-cats. Okay. And there was another recommendation, actually, speaking with the district manager. There is a location, actually two monuments in Bushwick. This is where the time capsule came in place, by the way. I'm working backwards. They happen to be one in Knickerbocker Avenue and Bleecker Street. And these monuments, I'm not sure if you're aware, for those who are veterans like me and our fellow veterans, these were actually monuments to those who served in the war. And this was actually for the Great War, which was World War I. So we're trying to preserve that because many of you don't realize this, but it is such a beautiful, beautiful piece of artwork, but it's being covered, and you pass by it and you could easily miss it. And if we continue not paying attention, it will probably be gone, by the way, because it's probably, I think, brass. Yes, please don't. It is, and we're planning actually put time capsules. That's what we were thinking of, but we'll talk about that again, Mr. Dustin. All right, and finally, we want to also explore a possible public art on Wilson Avenue, where the L train is an intersection, I think it's Moffett Avenue. There's a little nook there that we're trying to see what we can do with. Again, to just let people know, come. Give us what you have, your talent, because if not, that will also be taken away. So I'm going to keep it short. Everybody, please enjoy. Drinks on me, non-alcoholic. So have a wonderful evening and hoping to see everyone next year. Many blessings. There you go.
Moving us along, the Civic and Religious Committee. Given the absence of our chairperson, I will summarize the meeting. The committee did not have quorum, so therefore they were not able to make a recommendation. Once again, on the item, the street co-naming request for Akil Christopher. So this is a new request that the committee received earlier this year, this meeting year. Akil lost his life, for those that don't know, to gun violence at the age of 14 on Cornelia Street on June 27, 2012. His mother, Natasha Christopher, has since become an activist advocating against gun violence. For the past 6 years, vigils have been held in honor of Akil, and she asked for support to co-name the street in memoriam to him. So this still has to go through committee. It was tabled. However, there was some old business that was also discussed, including tree guards for tree pits. So technically this is a parks conversation as well, but this came up because there was the committee expressed interest in doing outreach to the community about the Greenest Block Awards. And so engaging with our block associations, which our block associations are connected to the Civic and Religious Committee. And so the chairperson volunteered to look into the requirements, and then this could be a co-partnership with the Parks and Recreation Committee. And then there was an announcement, but we will hear that later. And that concludes the Civic and Religious Committee report. Thank you. All right, moving us down to economic development. We have our chairperson and vice chairperson here.
In business enterprise. An MWBE certification is given to a business through either a city, state agency. So what we would like to do is have all of our local businesses come in and see exactly what services are being procured through city, state, and our private partners. So basically our local businesses can come in. If you're not certified MWBE, there will be education there for you actually to become certified, but there will also be contracting opportunities through certain government contracting and certain private partners. So we're definitely trying to bring the money back into the community. So it is the CB4 EDC endeavor, MWBE Forum and Small Business Resource Fair, and the event is scheduled tentatively for Wednesday, January 9th, 2019 from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Located at 422 Central Avenue between Palmetto and Woodbine Street. All are welcome to attend and participate in the planning. Local organizations, stakeholders, that work closely with the small business community are encouraged to contact the board's office in advance for information. So the issue with this is that we're trying to get as many people as possible. So we're going to have an issue with marketing. So people who are direct in the community, if you know anybody who has even thought about starting a business, whether in their home, they're doing little things, baking cakes, they all need to be there because there will be resources there for them to take that thought, that feeling, and turn it into actually reality. So we encourage a lot of people to come down and a lot of people to participate. And also, if you want to come and help the community board do some outreach, we definitely have some work to be done. And it's a good way for all of us to kind of communicate and get in touch with each other. The goal of this initiative is to work with the city. So the mayor made an initiative to have 9,000 new MWBEs signed up through the program. And they've allocated $20 billion to be invested, basically contracted out to the MWBEs between now and 2025. That's a lot of money. And there's not a lot of MWBEs there to receive that money. So that's why the need for certification is important. And if you already are certified, to come down and learn the resources so that way you can get in line with all these contracts and all this money. All righty, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, moving us on to environmental protection, transportation, and sanitation. Given that our chairperson, Eliseo Ruiz, and Vice Chair Nancy Liao were unable to make it, and Raul Rubio was not in attendance, I can summarize. Okay? All right. So the meeting, there were several presentations, the first being Frank Rye, co-founder, CEO from Revel. There's a summary describing what Revel is here. In summary, Revel's shared electric mopeds have been operating in Bushwick. There's 68 of them, and they've been operating since July 2018. The vehicles are available to rent through an app and provide Bushwick residents with an affordable, emissions-free, and convenient transit option. So their presentation included all of the logistics that it took to get Revel on the road and a little bit more about the regulations, including safety. They had a detailed presentation on safety, so I encourage everyone to read through their requirements for safety. And if you have any feedback, board members, public, please let me know, and we can always follow up with them. This presentation was specifically recommended to the board's office by Councilmember Reynoso, and they came to share this information with us. So we thank them for attending. We also had the NYC Department of Transportation. They shared a presentation on the expansion of City Bike in Bushwick. So yes, this means that City Bike is coming to Bushwick. They provided a map with locations. There has been some press since the meeting. If anyone has questions or would like to see that map, you can always reach out to me in the office. There were some suggestions from those in attendance, including our chairperson, Mr. Camacho, asking why not Broadway? So all of the locations where they're going to put the docks seem to be centered around the L train by Jefferson, DeKalb. There was one by Central on the M line. So, but they weren't really spread out. And so there were some concerns about that. In addition to those concerns about location, there was also a question about location. Are they on the street? Are they on the sidewalk? How much parking is being affected? The majority of what they shared with us were, when possible, on the sidewalk. However, the committee members in attendance pressed that whenever possible, it's best to avoid affecting any parking. And so for all of the details, including how that is impacted, please refer to the report, or you can ask me more questions after the meeting. And there was some old business, specifically committee study proposals. So the past several meetings, I may have shared information on the budget increase for community boards this year, $43,000 that will go away in June. And so the committees have been entertaining ideas for study proposals. And we had an independent consultant, Mr. Ron Roth. He shared the following information that I won't read, however, I will summarize. It was a streetscape study proposal. And so he explained that that would include storefront improvement, signage, and then everything else that goes along with the streetscape. For more information, please refer to the report. The committee will likely make a decision on whether or not they'll be moving forward with that specific proposal at the next committee meeting. And so, as Mr. Camacho was saying earlier, this is the reason why it's so important to get involved with committees. Committees are reviewing proposals, they're making recommendations, and this is all based on feedback from the community. You know, I would like to thank some of the new folks who started coming out to our committee meetings and engaging in those discussions. We had a large amount of others in attendance at this meeting, including at least 5 residents. I won't shout them all out by name, but they know who they are, and we thank them for joining us. And last but not least, there was another discussion under old business about the upcoming sanitation town hall. This is a partnership with Councilmember Reynoso's office, as the council member is the chair of the council sanitation committee. We aspire to invite the citywide commissioner, Catherine Garcia, to come to Bushwick to engage the community in conversation about sanitation, and my favorite, and I'm sure hers too, to talk some trash. So with that said, that concludes the report, and I thank everyone.
Recommendations?
There was one recommendation from Arts and Culture, and this was in reference to exploring the public art options at the Wilson Avenue L train. And this would take the form of writing a letter to the New York City Transit Authority, MTA, based on our conversations. Is there a motion from the committee at this time, or the board, to support this recommendation? Okay. 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 So we had a first from Louisa Chan and then a second from Ms. Dent. Was that correct? Okay. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? So moved. Thank you, everyone.
Old business? Old business? None. Move on. New business. Anybody with new business? We got to refer to committee. That's what we normally do. Go through committee and then we make recommendations and write off whatever it is, transportation. I guess we would have to ask them and we'll get back. Thank you. No more new business? Announcements, 1.5, announcements. Okay.
That's right. I'll be short and sweet. Good afternoon, Bushwick. Joshua Brown, first vice chair, also the co-chair of the Housing and Land Use here. Bushwick, we need to be vigilant. I've been speaking about it throughout the year, but 5 days ago in the New York Daily News, investigative grand jury finds wide-scale deed fraud in New York City real estate transactions. This is 2019. We have tools that can prevent us from being scammed. The city has a free automated city register system. ACRIS is if you need any type of real estate info, you have industry professionals here that are on the board that have up-to-date software that can give you accurate numbers. We just ask you all to be vigilant, as if someone knocks on your door and asks you to sign any document. You aren't obligated to sign anything. As if someone's calling you and telling you that your home is about to be lost and you have to sign documents. Please be vigilant. Please call the board. We have resources. We have info. If you know anyone who has been a victim of deed fraud, you don't call the New York City police. You call the New York City sheriff, because they handle all white-collar crimes. We also have a representative from the DA's office here. I would like to ask him just to chime in on it, because this is a serious issue. There's no reason why in 2019 people are being scammed out of their homes. So I just ask you all to be vigilant. Is if you know seniors, please check up on them. If you have friends, family, please get engaged. As if you need information, we are a resource for you because you have industry professionals here. Thank you. Mortgage fraud as well. Indeed. So we ask us all to please share them info.
When you finish it, also, these fraudsters read the obituary columns. They, I guess, that's what the article said, which we all know that they read the obituary columns, they look for seniors' houses that look like they are in disrepair because they assume that seniors live there and they can't take care of their houses. And it really is, it's almost simple to go down to the county clerk's office and get your records, and I don't know how they do it, but they do it. It has been done. So please tell your neighbors, especially the seniors, be eternally vigilant, because this is a racket that's been going on for quite some time. As a matter of fact, a police officer was just convicted of fraud because she turned over a house on Vernon Avenue, I think, and got it put in her name. So you have to be very careful.
Thank you.
Hey, we just asked you all to be vigilant. Yes? Could you speak up?
We can't hear you.
I know exactly the problem. Yeah, come on.
And this
Yeah,
is and
I'm
this is
mindful of time, and
this is announcements.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Hey, Ms. Brown, this is gonna be. You know what it is? It's just that there's two people on my block, and they were elderly people. And what it is, you come on the block, and it doesn't look as. There's a community on the block, but if you come on the block like an investor or somebody outside, you would think that there's no community. But there was two senior people, and what ended up happening was a senior guy, a retired pastor on the block, was approached by an investor, and what was really disturbing is that after a couple weeks turning away the investor, at first being interested, he pulls away. It seemed like the investor used the building department to get people to come to his house. Now, I'm not saying the guy didn't have things in his house, but this is somebody who lived on the block for like 30, 40 years. So after it happened one time, it was one thing. And then there was somebody else on the block, another senior person, and what ended up happening was all of a sudden, the building department again was knocking on his door. Yes. Now, listen, I'm not against the building department. I think that we need a safe community. But some people are really savvy, and we're not careful. The very agencies that should be serving us could be used by more crafty people to hurt people in the community. Yes. And I just think in principle, I got something against that with people who live in the neighborhood for 30, 40 years. You know, for those of us who are new, I'm a new homeowner, I get it. You know, we used to do things what we're supposed to do, get permits, whatever. But somebody 30 years old, because they don't want to sell your house, you're going to run through the ring like that? So anyway, I just felt it was something that if people were aware of, people would be less likely to do it. Or at least somebody in the building department could be signaled to it, so they're not being used like a pawn. Thank you.
All right. So
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
I'll be wrapping
what
up.
we'll do is we'll find out with elected officials, and we'll hold a meeting and call the buildings department down and find out what's going on and make sure that we know what's going on. We put them on notice. Let them know that.
Please stay updated. We will be doing ongoing education on this topic, as we have had in the past in Bedford-Stuyvesant also too. Because Bed-Stuy, they have become large
Joshua, I think you
victims
took
of Deedham fraud.
2.7. Thank
They
you.
have become large
Next.
and victims, just a temporary filibuster.
Thank
and,
you.
And we don't want it to happen to us. Thank you.
1.5.
Good evening, everyone. This is my first board meeting. I didn't know what to expect. I'm not a resident of Bushwick, but I am a licensed social worker in New York State. I'm passionate about social work, and I brought my passion to Bushwick. I'm currently employed by AHRC NYC, which is a community-based organization supporting adults living with disabilities in the Bushwick community. Our MO is each person with a disability. Behind a disability, there's a person, and at our program, located on 522 Bushwick Avenue, we support adults with disabilities, make a distinctive contribution. And there's one contribution that these fine group of adults have made in the past 3 years. They've partnered with Rescue Leftover Cuisine, which is another nonprofit organization of rescuing food in the Bushwick community. In the last three years, to date, we have saved over 3,000 pounds of food. We reach out to restaurants who otherwise would throw away food. We collect food, we deliver food to churches or community centers who could benefit from it. So we are saving food in the community. We applied for a grant. We were approved for this grant, and January 21st of next year, we are going to open our doors, 522 Bushwick Avenue. We are going to have a Martin Luther King Day of Service. We are going to raise awareness on food insecurity and waste and educate the community on ways they could eliminate food waste. We are also inviting organizations, community-based organizations, to join us so they could share and highlight some of their community resources or programs.
10 seconds.
I have information here at the end. I'm seated at the round table back over here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Joanne from Breaking Ground, and we are part of the homeless outreach efforts in all of Brooklyn, Queens, and parts of Manhattan. And really, all I'm here to say is if you see somebody who appears to be homeless, you're welcome to call 311, and we are obligated to respond within an hour to help that individual. You can phone it in, or I have instructions here on how to download an app onto your phones, and I can leave the instructions over here. And it also outlines what could happen if you call 311 and what the result could be. So the person may have gotten assistance, or maybe the person refused care. But also be persistent. If you see somebody that's in the neighborhood and, you're like, oh, this poor person needs help, and the outreach teams have come by before, it takes a while to develop trust. So don't get discouraged. We'll come out, and ultimately, we're going to win that person over. I promise. So happy holidays, and the instructions will be over here if that's okay.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Again, my name is Gina Gerhardt. I am the district executive for the Boy Scouts of America, Greater New York Councils. And I just wanted to share with everyone that currently there are no traditional units, Boy Scout units or Cub Scout units in Bushwick. There is one after-school program at PS 151. And I would love to be here today to kind of ask the community to think about different types of organizations where we could potentially charter a new Cub Scout pack for children K to 5. These are typically can be religious organizations, community-based organizations like Rotaries, or parent organizations like PTAs. So I'm just kind of been in the community looking and seeing what types of we could do. The one major thing a chartered organization offers a Boy Scout pack or troop is a place to meet. And so that's one thing to think about when thinking of the organization. So thank you so much. Happy holidays. And yes, ma'am. So I work for the Boy Scouts. Are you talking about the family scouting, or? So it's all really it's all really dependent on what the charter organization as well as the volunteers, if they decide to do that. So yeah, we have a really great relationship with the Girl Scouts, really positive relationship with the recruiter in the area, and we just continue to work towards making sure that scouting is available to as many children as possible.
Thank you.
Good evening one more time. We did not bring hard copies of library programs today. Tomorrow at 6 o'clock promptly, we're going to send them to the district manager for prompt distribution to the whole community. On a personal note, I wish, and the library is privileged to thank the office of Assemblywoman Davia. She organized a wonderful read aloud to preschool kids from the creative daycare last week. She read to about 100 children. So Mr. Camacho and myself, there are enough people to replace us when we retire or when the Lord calls us.
There you go.
Hopefully it's not too soon.
Thank you, Wei. I didn't want to go that fast, but it's okay.
On a personal note, I just wish to thank you very much for always pampering us with love. The whole community, our elected officials, and everybody. May God bless you during the new year, give you good health, lots of money, love, and everything in abundance. Thank you very much.
Wait. Also, the NCO and the inspector went to Audrey Johnson and read to the kids too. So it was really nice. So we're gonna have a lot of people reading. I need somebody to read to me. Thank you, Wait. When I get old.
Good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Jonathan Pombosa. I bring greetings from District Attorney Eric Gonzalez. Super quick regarding the deed fraud. The DA has a fraud unit. If you suspect any type of fraud occurring, you could always reach out to our Action Center. The hotline is 718-250-2340. And then I have just two quick announcements. On Monday, the DA announced that a Brooklyn teenager was convicted of first-degree assault in connection with an incident that left a New York City police officer, Dalsh Veve, with severe traumatic brain injury. The defendant sped away in a car he had stolen after the officer approached, then at a high rate of speed, weaved the vehicle to cause the officer, who was attempting to hang on, to be thrown off and suffer catastrophic head trauma. DA Gonzalez said Officer Veve put his life on the line for the people of Brooklyn when he responded to calls of shots fired. This defendant then callously dragged Officer Veve at a high rate of speed for several blocks, showing an appalling and intentional disregard for human life. Officer Veve suffered catastrophic injuries from which he will never recover. This defendant has now been convicted and faces the maximum when he is sentenced. And then the other update I have, which was just announced today at a press conference, the Brooklyn DA today moved to vacate 1,422 outstanding misdemeanor warrants stemming from failure to appear in court on misdemeanor marijuana possession cases. And also, thanks. He also consented to defense motions to erase 33 past convictions for misdemeanor marijuana possession. Vacating those convictions, which is part of the District Attorney's Justice 2020 Action Plan, represents the first time in New York State history that a criminal record for marijuana possession was erased under a DA's initiative. That's all. Thank you.
Now everybody going out there going to go smoke, huh? I'm going to have to be talking about Puff Pass.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Julio Salazar. I'm here on behalf of Congresswoman Nidia Velazquez. And I just have a few, and I'll be quick, in the coming days, and it's something that the member is proud of as she returns back to Congress for this upcoming session. One of the priorities, thank you. One of the priorities that I know the member wanted me to share with everyone here that will continue to be part of her agenda is affordable housing. I wasn't here 2 months ago due to surgery, but there was a program, the federal risk sharing program, which the Congresswoman led the New York, the Democratic coalition over in Washington, lobbying the Trump administration to renew that program. And that program is vital to big cities like New York that need affordable housing. And that program was renewed with the lobbying efforts of Congresswoman Velazquez, the New York Democratic Coalition. So that's something that she's proud of that happened over the last 2 months. And it's really going to be a benefit for everyone in big cities like New York. A second priority is going to be public housing. Like the chairman said, Hope Gardens is going through a RAD conversion. Those are federal Section 8 dollars that developers and the development will receive. So she wants to make sure that as many principles from the Bushwick Community Plan are being input into the program, into the conversion as NYCHA and HUD moves forward, because if there's one thing that the community actually accepted and if there's one thing that the community actually worked on, it's on the Bushwick Community Plan, and the Congresswoman will continue to advocate for the BCP principles to be included in the Hope Gardens RAD conversion. Thirdly, and finally, the Community Reinvestment Act. The Congresswoman is going to advocate for several reforms, responsible reforms, to make sure that banks that receive our deposits reinvest that money back into communities where they belong. She wants to make sure that big banks like Chase, Bank of America, not take our deposits and invest them in upstate New York and projects up there. She wants to make sure that they stay in Cypress Hills, Bushwick, Williamsburg, and communities that need them the most. So that's something that she's going to look forward to partaking in. There is bipartisan support for that. So I hope that we can deliver some good news on that front. But really, she'd like to thank the chairperson, Mr. Camacho, for the work that he's done in the last few months, and of course thank our previous chairperson, Ms. Julie Dent, for all the work that she's done all these years, and our district manager, and really the entire community board who work day in and day out to make sure that Bushwick stays Bushwick. Thank you.
And I just want you to go back. I just want you to go back and tell her that I was reading what the mayor had in that 2.0, and open space. If the developers are going to use open space, we want deeply affordable for open space. We don't want market rate housing if they're going to use a parking lot and do a high riser and create market rate housing and forget about the people in Bushwick. We need deeply affordable because mandatory inclusionary housing does not work for us. Nobody can afford the $3,000, $2,000 for one bedroom. So we need 2, 3, and 4 bedrooms. We make kids, and my kids, I want to have grandkids. And we don't want to be pushed out with 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms. We want to have a family-oriented community. That's what we want. And we want to make sure that housing becomes the community, that developer becomes the community's problem, not just theirs. Because federal government subsidies, they says, oh, you can't, they make it seem like we're not part of them. No, if they vote for you and they live in housing, they're part of us. They're from this community. So we represent them, no matter what it is, if it's federal, city, or state. We need to turn around and tell them they're part of this community and they're people too. Thank you. Second roll call.
Grace Ates. Joanna Bennett. Joshua Brown. Martha Brown.
Present.
Robert Camacho. Felix Ceballos. Melissa Carrera. Gardier Caphart. Louisa Chan. Julie Dent. Denise Reyna Dolan. Ernest Estime. Carlos Feliciano. Freddie Fowler. Michelle Hilliard. Barbara Jackson. Mary McClellan. Desmond Monroe. Charlene Moore. Zuma Navoa. Luisa Jose Olea. Asire Polite. Gladys Puglia. Eliseo Ruiz. Julio Salinas. Dustin Sonborn. Annette Spellin. James Wiseman. Oldoff Wright. Okay. A motion to adjourn. Motion, Martha Brown. Second. Freddie Fowler, second. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? So moved. Happy holidays, everyone, and we welcome everyone to stay for the holiday party. There is a potluck prepared in the back, and please, when you go, please clean up your table. Thank you.